Hey, folks, it's another episode of the Gary and Mark Show, and I'm Gary.
And I am Mark.
And we're coming to you not live,
but we are live.
And we're Zooming.
And we are Zooming. It's the first time we've Zoomed.
Yeah. Notice we're practicing social distancing and reading.
Yeah, there you go. So good to be back here. This is episode 30, Gary.
Our first Zoom episode.
That's true. We did Skype. And we had a couple issues with Skype before because we do have a guest today, and that was the issue, I think. So, and then we'll get to that in just a minute. But we do have a few shout outs. So you have one to start with, Gary.
Oh, Spring Briggs, who is our director of women's triathlons and, gosh, a dean of, I can't remember all her titles.
Well, a lot of different things. She's head of the botanical gardens, I think.
Botanical garden at Rabbit Island. But you're in training all the triathletes for the GNMPU, saved 7 baby ducklings that had walked into a storm drain. They were following Mama, but somehow they fell into a storm drain. And she happened to be running by, and the fire department was there and wondered what the commotion was. And they needed somebody whose arm was just the right size to kind of get in the storm drain and get past the grate. And so she could reach down, and she saved the ducklings for Mama.
Well, that is nice.
Yeah.
Boy, she does everything.
Her arm made the grate again, somehow.
That's good.
And again.
She needs to stay handy then.
Yeah, she is.
Glad to have her on our staff.
That just shows what our, the people who are on the teaching staff, what they're doing.
Amazing. Yeah. On duty, off duty, they are dedicated to saving lives and educating others and
helping
all different
others,
kind of ways. Yep.
Saving.
Well, we have there you go. We do have 2 new graduates of the Gary and Mark Podcasting University. And I'm proud to say both of these graduated with honors, which is always nice. Yep. So I want a big shout out to Kelsey Morse and Thomas Mack. So they are entitled to a sticker for their car or whatever they want to put it on. They just got to give us their snail mail addresses. They just send in their application via email. Any dates in history today, Gary?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
I'm glad I asked too.
I made a few notes. We won't go back. Well, let's go back to 1886. Actually, there was a big campaign to establish the 8-hour workday. How about that?
Huh.
I guess that was the beginning of May 1 being kind of a workers' day.
Uh-huh.
In 1931, on this day, the Empire State Building opened.
Wow. Have you ever been there?
Yes.
I've been in New York and seen it, but I've never been in it.
Boy Scout trip, 1962.
Oh, and you lived in New York, so you.
I did, but when I lived there, I didn't go there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let's see. On this day in 1962, the first Kmart opened in Michigan.
Wow. I don't think any are left, are there?
Well, the one in Hendersonville closed a couple of years ago.
Yeah, all the ones I've known have closed.
Yep. And on May 1, 1967, Elvis Presley married Priscilla in Las Vegas.
Wow. And one of our listeners happens to live in the town where Elvis Presley was born.
Wow, that's true.
Scott Reed.
That's right.
Scott, I heard him do a garage concert the other day to help raise some money for local folks down in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Yeah, he did a great cover of John Prine's Long Monday. Really liked that.
Yeah, they were a good group. Good group. What's the name of their group? I'm trying to remember right now.
Oh, it's two drinks.
Something like that.
No cover, 2 drinks, no cover or something. Yeah.
People have to look that up on YouTube.
Well, yeah.
Well, we are still in this social distancing thing, and I just got a few things that a friend of Howard's sent in, and Ann Harris lives in Myrtle Beach. Just read a couple of these, 3 of these. He said, I used to spin that toilet paper like I was on the Wheel of Fortune. Now I turn it like I'm cracking a safe.
Yep.
I know how that goes because you and Barbara count squares.
We count squares.
Yep. I need to practice social distancing from the refrigerator. That's me. One more. My body has absorbed so much soap and disinfectant lately that when I pee, it cleans the toilet. I'm agreeing with that one.
Hey, that would, yeah.
And the last one, I'll do one more. Better 6 feet apart than 6 feet under.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree with that. Well, Gary, we have a guest we've tried to get on before.
I'm pretty excited.
I am too. We've never met this person in person. We just know she's a character in Watershed. And we're going to bring on just a second Eddy, who is the head of the Wicked Women of Watershed motorcycle gang.
Ooh.
They call themselves the W3. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So maybe a technical issue here, but we are going to try to bring her on.
All right.
It may take her a minute to get the sound up and running.
Oops. Boom.
Whoa. I think we've got her. It may take a minute for the sound, just connecting the audio. Okay. Since she can't hear us right now, I hope, she is a kind of a scary looking character.
With the headband, bandana.
Yeah, that's in that leather jacket. She looks pretty authentic. So I don't know what that thing is on the wall behind. Ooh,
is that a microphone?
Miss Eddy, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I'm not real accustomed to having men make me wait.
Yeah.
That's Gary's fault, because I was thinking, yeah. She would not want to wait.
I don't.
From her reputation.
Right.
Sorry about that, Eddy. You okay now?
We'll make it up to you.
How are we going to do that, Gary?
We'll back her up when she gets in a big brawl with her Wicked Women of Watershed.
You might be backing her up. I'm going to be backing her up from a distance.
I'm that's rich. You think you could help me in a fight?
Whoa.
Yeah, I have a feeling she can take on a lot of people.
I do.
I do. So, Eddy, is that your real name? I can tell I'm not supposed to ask that. Or do you go by?
It's the name you can call me.
There you go.
What do your friends call you?
They call me D.
But we don't call you D. Or we can't.
Ms.
D?
No, it's D to you.
D to you. I like that. Okay, how'd you come up with that name? Is that Dorothy or Divine, or what's that stand for? Stands for Eddy. I like that. Okay. Good for you. Well, we are happy to have you on the show. We have talked about your gang before.
We have.
But we've never met any of you that we know of. Because usually when we hear motorcycles coming down the street of Watershed, I duck. I don't know about Gary, but I duck.
As you should.
So Gary thinks you ride like one of those little Kawasaki baby cycles or a Honda.
I'm too scared of that stuff.
What do you ride? You ride
I got a sweet little 883. I don't know what Gary thinks he's talking about. It's hogs forever, man.
I'm probably putting words in Gary's mouth because I don't want to get beat up. So, yeah. Well, I like your get up there. Did you invent that yourself? You always wear a green bandana? Is that the kind of the symbol of you and the gang?
I mean, you got to have something between your head and the helmet to absorb all the sweat.
That's true. So Gary didn't have any hair, so he'd have to. Well, I guess I don't have much hair.
Not much.
Yeah. Well, see, Eddy's got a good set of hair there. So, what's your gang like? Are they like friendly or like Hell's Angels or something? Huh? Some?
We're friendly to some.
Oh, you're friendly to some.
If you merit.
Ooh. What's it take to merit?
She doesn't mess around.
You guys wouldn't make it in our group.
Well,
first of all, you're not women.
I was wondering about that. Yeah, Wicked Women of Watershed, but sometimes I could probably fit in because I'm getting nervous about a lot of things. Not that you're nervous about anything, but just me.
Yeah, I'm not nervous about you.
Yeah, I can tell. It's a good thing you don't know where I live.
Oh, I know where you live. I know where everyone lives. I ride by your house on the regular.
I don't like that.
Too bad.
I may move.
I'll find you.
You
have something there.
I think with this kind of forceful personality, you would be the perfect choice to be in charge of our campus security.
We needed someone in that position.
Yeah.
Looks like she could use a job. What's the pay? Tell her, Gary.
Oh, it's priceless. It's hard to put a value on it. you would make as much as the founders and president of the university.
That's true.
Yeah, at least as much.
We could give you a sticker.
Yeah, how about it?
How does that work?
That would not be going on my hog.
Nah.
How about one that says Rabbit Island Resort? Would that go on your
Rabbit? That sounds like something a soft woman would have on her vehicle.
I hadn't thought about that, Gary. We may have to change our resort name. Like Hog Island or something.
With a W.
What's that? Dee?
With a W.
Oh yeah, Wicked Rabbit. I'm a Wicked Hog. Yeah, whatever.
That'd be better.
So you want to take on that security job?
I mean, I could try it. I enjoy roughing up some people now and then. So yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Run a tight ship. You run a tight ship.
What kind of ship?
What about a lot of places have campus security, but what about also being in charge of campus insecurity?
Oh, I'm not laughing. She's not laughing.
Would you take that on too?
I'd knock the spit out of it.
There you go. You could, someone on the campus is feeling insecure. You can come over and kind of, give them a little tough biker love and get them kind of straightened out.
This is what happens when you give a trophy to everyone.
There you go. Right.
I can tell Miss Dee probably didn't have too many trophies. Or do you, Dee? Maybe you
need a trophy. I know what I am and what I'm not.
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, maybe what we need to do is go to those houses where every kid got a trophy and take them back.
Now that would teach them some grit.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take back those trophies.
She shows up to the door. They're going to let her in because they don't want her to get knocked in. And they're going to give her back those trophies. I don't care if they're like 18 years old or 6. So do any of you gals practicing social distancing, or is that beyond you?
Oh, no, we absolutely. We just went for a ride this morning, as a matter of fact. And I instructed the gals we're supposed to keep at least 3 dead redneck links between us.
What's a 3 dead redneck links? Okay, so you don't count yourself as a redneck, though, do you?
No, sir.
I don't think so.
I mean, we're only really required to have 1 dead redneck between us, but I'd prefer 3.
Yeah. Well, good for you. Good for you, because those bikes go fast, I bet. So y'all do any community service, you ladies or women?
Absolutely. We're kind of under the radar about it. We do it in the dark of night. We'll sometimes plant some flowers in the center of town, or go to someone's house and clean up their yard a little bit, but we don't really like to advertise that.
Well, why not? Give you a good reputation.
That's not what we're aiming for.
Oh. Well, you could probably actually the Mayor Thomas did not have any bad things to say about it.
Better
Remember,
not.
Gary? Yeah, we might hear this. That's a good point. No, he said that y'all put on some sort of mufflers to quieten down your bikes when you come through town or something. Is that true?
He asked us via email if we would tone it down a little bit. So I removed my glass packed.
And that helps. I wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all the women do that?
Indeed.
So why are you called wicked women then? I could tell. Never mind.
Boy.
Does she look wicked to you, Gary?
Well, that glance had a wickedness to it. I kind of, when she didn't answer that question, but just that glance, I would classify that as a somewhat wicked glance.
Let's just say we're not into candle making.
Yeah.
Or basket weaving.
Or lanyards. No.
I see you're wearing your face mask on your head, though. That sweat thing comes in handy in multiple ways.
Sure it does.
So y'all have a favorite like tattoo parlor where you like to get your biker tattoos?
We generally give them to each other. A little bit of bonding we have.
Yeah.
Like, you know how to do that, or you just get some needles and start poking? I mean, that sounds like an art.
Yeah, you burn a little paper, make a little carbon, mix it with some water, get you a nice staple out of a magazine or something, sharpen it up.
Wow. So do you personally have any tattoos?
Indeed.
Tats, as I'm sure you do. You want to show us one of them?
I don't think your viewers are ready for that.
Describe it to us.
Well, I got the insignia, but that's...
Is that secret?
That's a bikini covered area, if I can say that.
We don't want to see that. Not on the air anyhow, because some of our viewers are listening to us right now via podcast, but some are watching on YouTube. So we need to keep it a clean show. That's for sure. Gary, you want to show her your tattoo?
Well, no, I don't. I have no tattoos.
And that's
Let
the same
me guess.
for me too.
Is it Bugs Bunny?
He doesn't have any. I don't have any. We'll be honest. Okay, but if we wanted to have some, we would not. I don't think want you to give it to us. So there is a tattoo parlor in Watershed, but I can tell you don't frequent that place.
I mean, I've been there for one or two, but who wants to spend the money when you can just do it in the comfort of your own home? You can drink beer during the process. They won't let you drink at the tattoo parlor.
That's true.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. So,
well,
how many women are in your gang?
Well, the number goes up and down, but right now we got 9. We've had as many as 13. But some people move on in one way or another, either off the mortal coil or to another town. So we get a member here and there, and we lose a member here and there, and that's just...
So is there a set of criteria to get in? Do you have like standards?
Of course.
What might they be, or one standard?
Well, you got to be badass.
Okay. That's half the women in Watershed. Okay.
You can't, cry about a broken nail or your hair getting messed up in the wind.
Good point.
Those are standards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have the time and energy to, take it out on the road. And of course, you got to have your own bike. Nobody's going to ride behind me.
You don't have any, do you allow sidecars?
What are we going to put in a sidecar?
Like the husband or something. Yeah.
Golden retriever, maybe.
Yeah, no, that's too sweet for these girls.
No, they a Rottweiler.
There you go.
If you don't have the backbone to have your own hog, you ain't good enough for us.
So how old were you when you rode your first bike? Talking about motorcycle, not bicycle.
Well, first motorized vehicle that I strapped on was a little old dirt bike. I couldn't have been much more than school age, just barely school age. I remember my feet hardly reached the ground, but we went through the woods all day long on that thing, and I got the bug early on.
Wow, good. That.
Took it to the road as soon as I was, maybe a little bit before I was legal, but don't tell the sheriff that. Once I got my license, it was gone from home all day.
So you get along with the sheriff, okay?
Okay, we have an understanding. I try not to ruffle his hair, and he stays the hell out of my way.
So don't want to put you on the line here or make this sound out of line, but are any of you women married? Not that I'm looking, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, some of us are. Not all of us. Not all of us like boys.
So I want to run some social distancing pickup lines for you and see if your single women would appreciate these before we try to use them. Now, Gary and I are both married, but you can, what are you drinking there? Never mind. Okay. We shouldn't ask what she's drinking or smoking, should we, Gary? So if COVID-19 doesn't take you out, can I?
No.
No, I mean, no, you can't take you out. You don't think that's a good pickup line?
Correct.
Okay. Since all the public libraries are closed, I'm checking you out instead.
Looking is free.
You can't spell virus without U-N-I. No, they probably can't spell virus at all.
Excuse me. You're
Gary,
making some mighty big assumptions about my educational level.
Well, Gary put that thought in my head. Somehow or another, I don't know how it happens, Gary. How does that work?
What's that?
How do you put those thoughts into my head? Because she's thinking I made that up.
Blame it on me, Mark.
All right, thank you. All right.
Just so you know, I know where you live too, Gary.
And when she points, I get scared. Definitely campus security.
It's going to be perfect. Perfect. She won't even have to wear an official uniform.
No.
What she's got on, that will. It is.
Just look at them, point, look at them, straighten up, fly right. Ooh.
All right. Couple more pickup lines. Baby, do you need toilet paper? Because I can be your Prince Charming. She didn't like that one either.
That's just disgusting right there.
Without you, my life is as empty as a supermarket shelf.
Well, I mean, that one does, warm the cockles a little bit, but it seems unlike a pickup line and more like something you'd say to your sweetheart.
What do you think about that, Gary?
Boy, I think she just cuts right to the quick, no messing around.
So, well, Dee Dee, anything else you want to tell our listeners? We're going to keep you on all through our closing, which is just coming up now. But anything else you want to say to any girls out there or young ladies who might want to be joining up or learning to ride? What advice could you give them?
Stronger than any man. You're smarter than any man. And you probably smell better than just about any man.
I'm not disagreeing. Mm-hmm.
That's 3 for 3. Yeah.
That's true.
So Gary has a grown daughter. Gary, do you think you want to put her up for membership? Think Jessica would want to be a member?
With the Wicked Women of Watershed, with my daughter Jess, I think she could hang with them.
She's going to have to change that name. It's a little too fluffy.
Oh, the Jess part? Oh, okay. She's got tattoos, so she's got that going on.
Did she ride a hog yet?
I have no idea. I'd be the last to know.
See?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've got a friend we interviewed a while back named Linda Cluxton who rides bikes.
Yeah.
Pretty big ones. Maybe we ought to put her up for membership. Of course, Linda's probably too much of a fluffy name too, right? No.
It works.
I know she rides. We don't know if she has any tattoos or not.
We can remedy that.
So who gives you guys the names? Yeah, you or the people? I mean, like Dee Dee's. We already went over that, but I mean, do people come up with their own, like Jessica or Jess, Gary's daughter?
Jess might work, but Jessica won't.
Okay.
Yeah. I
mean,
good. They should be. If they approach me for membership, they ought to be prepared in a way that would present them as a viable member. You're just coming with a name like Jessica, she'd get turned away right immediately. But
maybe she could be like J12. 12 was her number on her basketball jersey, so J12.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, sounds like a good number, like a prison number or whatever. Yeah. So I hear some noise over in the background. It's like someone's rooster.
I heard that rooster.
So it's not in my house. Is it your house, Gary?
I know.
It's
so there's no way.
It's with
no way Dee Dee would have chickens or roosters, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, well it's free food. You got eggs every day.
Yeah, free food. I like that.
I just heard
have
it
to go
again.
To the store. So I think she's saying she's got some chickens and roosters.
Okay.
Yeah, that rooster didn't get the memo that said you only do that in the morning. He does it all day long.
Well, trying to tell you something.
I'm kind of surprised that you'd allow that, Dee Dee.
Well, I figure when he stops making noise, that means there's a coyote in the yard. So it's sort of a reverse alarm system.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any coyotes in your?
Oh yeah, I just had one of my chickens snatched the other day, but she was foolish. She went over to the neighbor's yard because she thought those bugs was going to be better, and there comes that coyote, took her right away.
So I can't believe Dee Dee has free range chickens.
They get to do what they want. They're eating all the ticks out of my yard. They can go where they'd like.
Well, I like that.
But I put them up at night. I'm not heartless. I close them up at night.
Good for you.
How many chickens you got?
Well, now I got 13. A couple days ago, I had 14. But, it's nature. That coyote's not mean. He's just trying to feed his babies.
Yeah. So do you name your chickens?
Some of them got names. Yep. Not all of them.
Let's hear some of these names. Just a few. Can you remember any?
The one you hear hollering out there, his name is Jason. We got another one named Goldie. Let's see. Oh, now he's around the other side of the house. We got one named Jaden. He's Jason's father. Jay's son. Jaden's son.
Cute, yeah.
I've had one named Miranda. Had one named Olive, because somebody named Oliver left her at my house. I got one named Henrietta. There's been so many over all the years, I can't remember all their names. One was, what was her name? Oh, golly. I can't even remember. She climbed into the house and went upstairs and laid an egg under one of the beds. So,
oh my goodness.
She had a special name, but I can't recall it right now.
So, how many eggs do you get every day?
Right now, I'm getting 3 or 4. A lot of my girls are old right now, but hadn't had the heart to put them in the stew pot just yet.
Oh, yeah.
As long as they're eating ticks, they're welcome to wander around the yard.
Well, that's nice of you. There's one of those public service things.
I'm not heartless. You may have some preconceived notions about what a biker chick is, but
you've changed my mind completely.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to wrap this session up,
all right,
friends. So we want to thank, of course, Dee Dee for being part of our show and shedding some light on the underground and watershed. And not that you're underground, because we see you right now.
I wonder if she'd want to take on the animal husbandry courses at GNMPU, along with the security and the insecurity.
That's true. That's a lot of things.
I'm not interested in helping animals get it on, you know?
Okay. Okay. There you go. That's a good way to end this thing. So it has been another good episode. I want to thank our sponsors, Gary. You got any of those in mind?
Well, there's the Big Whizz Pocket Buddy, which nobody's using right now because you're not in any crowds. Rabbit Island Resorts, that's COVID-free.
That's true. That's true. We also have got Green River Eddy's Tap Room. They are still not open. Yeah. Hopefully they'll be opening soon. Miss them. That's where we usually record. It's safer than being around Dee Dee here. And we got LJ Meyers and his White Dove professional releases. Oh. All right. So Dee Dee, we are glad you could be a part today.
Right.
Well,
anything else you want to say?
Ride free.
I like that. I'll put that on another decal, I think. Well, I'm Mark.
I'm Gary.
And she's Dee Dee.
She's Dee Dee. She sure is.
That'd be nice, Gary. Is that nice?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks for being a part, Dee Dee. We'll look forward to seeing everybody in our next episode. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, all those kind of good things wherever you find podcasts, and of course on YouTube. All right. We are out. Goodbye.